actual factual win con if Uro goes away, besides, you know, I guess getting in there with Quaddles.
I mean, we got some Hull Breachers as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Those can deal damage. And yeah, I do want to highlight the 2 Days Undoing, because this is a card that you don't normally see in Legacy. But, you know, because Narset is now this powerhouse against all these other blue strategies, you have this 2-card combo, either with Narset or with Hull Breacher, that can just go lights out. Now, I don't think that this combo gets set up that often in a matchup like Izzet Delver, but we might see it in the Maverick matchup.
Yeah, I actually would be kind of shocked if they leave in the Days Undoing. You still want the Hull Breachers and the Narsets, I would assume, just because of, well, they draw a lot of cards. But yeah, Days Undoing trying to get a 3-mana sorcery blue card going, you know, up against a deck that is almost assuredly going to leave Days and Forces in against you. Like, this is, you know, we've been talking a lot about Izzet Delver, how they kind of trim on Forces, trim on Dazes when they're on the draw, that kind of thing. This seems like a matchup that you just want to leave them in no matter what, right?
Oh, I completely agree. Now let's throw up Ozzy's deck list, which will be Russell's opponent. Now this is going to just be one of the 5 Izzet Delver decks in the tournament. And, you know, you think it's like, wow, that's a lot in the top 8, but this is just a well-oiled machine. The ban of Ragavan did help the format in people not liking to play against Ragavan, but it did not kill the deck.
Some people say the deck got better with Ragavan being banned because there's less focus on it. You know, I think we're slowly getting back to the point where the focus is now back on it. But, like, right when Ragavan got banned, everyone's like, okay, I can cut all these gut shots. I can cut all these, you know, excessive amounts of, you know, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, and now it's just to the point of be like, okay, never mind. I can't do that, you know?
No, I mean, like, as long as Legacy has been around, or as long as I've been participating in it, there has just been some form of Delver of Secret, Days, Wasteland strategies. It's just commonplace. Now,
it was crazy that Delver was actually cut from the Delver decks, and it was still called Delver for a little bit.
For sure. I mean, that's just this deck, right? And it used to have Nibble Mongooses and Tarmogoyfs and be a rug deck for a while. And now with Murktide Regent and Dragon's Red Channeler, you can just stay 2 colors, be a lot leaner. You know, you don't get so exploited by Wasteland or other Wasteland strategies, because sometimes you'd have to pick between green or blue, and you would get shut down from the other. So just being able to just be mono dual lands, even to the point where there's a Steam Vents in the deck.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And yeah, I think the thing about DRC, Dragon Rage Channeler, is like, oh dang, we don't have Ragavan, one of the best, if not the best, red creature ever printed. But dang it, we just have the 2nd best red creature ever printed here in DRC. So one thing I want to bring attention to in the sideboard of this deck list is something that we don't see a ton of, and that's Narset. Narset Parter of Veil is going to be an excellent card here, and I just think that's a good one. You know, some decks play like Court of Cunning, you know, play that kind of stuff, or other more Hull Breachers or something. I'm a big fan of just Narset Parter of Veils. Like, give me the card that is the card you bring in against Izzet already and other blue-based decks. Just let me play that card. I think it's just so good.
While it's very good, I do not think anyone should publicly state they're a fan of Narset Parter of Veils.
Man, I always have been. I really, honestly, that's my deep and dark secret here, bro. I've been a fan of Narset since the beginning, even when, you know, it was just like the only thing people were playing and stuff. Right when I could pair Bertha Melitis with Narset and Teferi Time Reveler in Standard, I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of the static abilities that came from War of the Spark, because one of the things, they had so many Planeswalkers in that set, right? Over 20.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact number, but they had statics on all of them.
Yeah.
And so there's, you know, they kind of ran out of some figuring out what to do with it, and so they started making some permission-based ones, right? We see those are the staples because they're kind of 2 cards in one, right? Narset, Parter of Veils, we've got Teferi Time Reveler, and we've got Urza, I think. It's
Urza?
Karn?
Okay.
Karn, right?
Yeah, Karn the Great Creator? Is that what you're talking? Yes. The static for the artifacts.
That's it, yes. And so all 3 of those have these prison-type elements that really can shine a light into a format like Legacy, whereas, you know, we're not going to see a Nissa who shakes the world up in there, are we?
Yeah, Nissa who shakes the world is no longer shaking world. It's like gently like bending worlds or something. So, all right, Dan, let's take a look at a Sharkcaster Mage versus Tulsuk. Let's first start with Sharkcaster. This is another one of our top 8 matchups. We're just going to go through all of them. Check this one out. So first, Sharkcaster Mage here with one of our Mavericks. One of our Mavericks.
Yeah, this is such a cool deck that I did not know was going to be here, and maybe I should have done more research.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't think a lot of people were going to make top 8 with it. But, you know, this shines a light on Elvish Reclaimer as this card. Like, even people are playing it in Junded Modern and really didn't see a lot of play anywhere since it came out. But having this ability to search up a bunch of singleton lands that have good impact in the game, like a Maze of Ith, a Bojuka Bog, a Krakus, but then having this combo, right? If the game goes long enough and that's in play, or the threat of a crop rotation, we've got the Dark Dusk Destiny Sage combo that we all know and love in this format. Everyone loves dying to a surprise 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't? Yeah, I think this deck is just super sweet. There's a lot of fun ofs that really help out the deck and stuff. It gives you a lot of plans. So the people that are masters with these decks, which honestly, Sharkcaster Mage played insane. All day. We were super impressed. This was the #1 seed. Just really impressed me all around. So expect some good things from them. Let's look at their opponent here, Tulsulk, and see what we're up against.
All right, so we've got another Izzet Delver, one of the 5. This one is a little bit different, and I do like the addition of the Mystic Sanctuary. Now, it comes at a cost, right? It is a tap land unless you have developed your mana. And sometimes that is not where you want to be in an opening hand.
Yeah. But you ever daze that land back? We saw that a couple of times, and my God, was that awesome.
It is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
That's why you always leave daze in the Izzet mirrors, right? I think we've cleared that up. And just kidding, there's going to be 10,000 people in chat being like, you idiots. You do not leave in dazes in the mirror. But yeah, I mean, that is some application that is pretty nice. With that card. So other than that, nothing too crazy from this list. I think the one thing that sticks out is a true name Nemesis in the board and that Mystic Sanctuary. And then I guess we do have a couple Chain Lightnings to just kind of a nod to being better against other Izzet decks.
Yeah, just being able to pick off those early threats. And it will help in these Maverick matchups for sure.
Yep. Okay, so we'll take a look at our next matchup here. And that would be Baku91 and DM4X. DM4X is our only player that is back-to-back right now. They top 8'd last month, so impressive work from them. They did not get one of those spots in the top 2, so you best believe they're probably after that one. So this is Baku91's list. Yeah, you know, another surprise is a Delver. A couple big changes in this one. We got... Oh, excuse me. This is DM's, our back-to-backer. Spell Pierce in the main, 1 Brazen Bar, 1 Chain Lightning, and we got that Court of Cunning in the sideboard that I played with last time, and I'm not going to lie, it was not good for me, but maybe it was a little bit better. And then a copy of Submerge. That'll be pretty helpful against these Maverick decks. So let's check out the opponent. All right, and an Izzet Delver mirror on this one, and yeah, some Hull Breachers, got a Snapcaster on the board, one of Gut Shot to just get you. I mean, nothing better than the one of Gut Shot. Be like, I'm sorry, what were you at, 1? Okay, Gut Shot you?
I mean, if we see that, I would be pretty blown away. Usually Gut Shot's going to be something that we'll be able to take care of a Delver Seekers or Dragon Ridge Channeler, especially on the draw when you don't have to play around days. That's one of the huge benefits of it. But for the most part, just another relatively stock version. I do think that, you know, these people that were playing these main deck Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast, just even as a 1 copy, are pretty happy with themselves.
Yeah.
And because we see a lot of people having 4 on the sideboard, but this has 4 copies of these effects with a 5th in the main deck. So these are huge in the mirrors at dealing with Murktide Regions.
Yeah, it's crazy, too, that you can just play like 8 of that card. It just does the exact same thing, and it's just insane. If you just look at that card in the grand scope of things, just destroy anything blue, enchantments, whatever, as well as just counter anything. Like, you know, I mean, maybe I'm just the new person to Legacy, but that just effect is just so good.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
So messed up. Okay, so let's check out our last bracket here. This is Sprouts against Easy Money Marksman. This will be, the winner of these two will be playing against our feature match, Ozzy and Russell Wilson. So let's take a look at Sprouts here to start. And Sprouts, here's one of our non-Izzet Delver players, so I know everybody is rooting for them immediately, Brad.
Yeah, just another Selesnya Depths deck. And one, you know, keep in mind this is on opposite brackets, so we could see an all Depths finals. A few differences in this list, right? Because we've got the Thorns, the Esper Sentinels really taxing those spell-based decks.
Yep.
Even a Thalia.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. One of Thalia, why not? Esper Sentinel, one of the new cards here from Modern Horizon 2, making a big impact on the format. And this is just a really cool deck. We'll technically call it Abzan because we got a Bojuka Bog, but this is green-white Depths, as well as a little bit of Maverick they have combined, and I don't know how to differentiate them.
I don't actually think they have, but we're going to say that.
We're going to say that. We're trying to rile up chat and try to get them going here.
Oh,
and
they are riled.
Wow. Oh, they're mad. Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, okay. Just kidding. Well, chat, that's going to do it for our deck list here. If you want to not be mad, you can use !Bash Bros in the chat, and you're going to save yourself a lot of money. That's one way we get to give back to you, is by just giving you a little bit of percentages here when you want to rent any of these decks. We got the deck lists that are going to be up on each side of your screens here. If you find a deck, I have checked them already. Yes, they are there.
Oh,
they're looking good. So this will be our first feature match. If you click the drop downs, you can export those lists, import them, and start a Mana Traders account. Use !Bash Bros to get our code, save yourself some money, and maybe you would be here next month. And we're going to tell you what the format is for next month, but not yet.
We're going to do it right before the finals.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyone who guesses it in chat will get to be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
We'll get to be proud of themselves.
All of those things. So we are just about going to be starting it up here. Bro, what's your prediction for this top 8 match?
Well, I don't know if I have a good prediction. I feel like it's going to be tough for Russell. I mean, I know that Russell's been beating Izzet to get
pretty much the whole tournament.
But the one time we watched it, it looked very convincing for Izzet. Like, it's just going to come down to those draw engines, right? The ability to brainstorm back lands, the ability to draw multiple expressive iterations. And fight through a long one. But I think we're going to have a big old slogfest here.
Well, that slogfest is ready to go. So let's get into the action here for our top 8 at the Mana Trader Series. All right. And here we go. Starting it off, we look like we have all our players keeping on 7 cards. That's what you love to see, bro.
Oh, yes. I always love a big old fair fight for a fair matchup.
I prefer big old bear fights, now that I am a bear token. That's the only token I got. You got all these cool ones, but that's the best I got as a bear.
I have an insect and a goat.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
They were chosen.
That is, yeah, they were chosen. Yeah. So that's on you for making those.
I'm just going through all the O1s.
Okay. Isn't an insect a 1/1?
Yeah, well
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Ponder from Russell.
All right. Then we got the Delver here from Ozzy.
Yeah, good start. I mean, it's going to be able to, get some attacking in. And that's really what you need. You need a little bit of pressure to make these dazes worthwhile and things like that. Well, here we might see a prismatic ending.
Okay. And now, you do have that option to daze this. And if it's your only threat, that seems like what you are going to want. And the one thing about these control decks is they do not play daze themselves. They always want to be making land drops. So it's a detriment to play that. So all these Delver decks and every deck that's playing against Russell Wilson will have the ability to know that, like, okay, it doesn't matter how you sequence, tap out, just play your spells. You still have to worry about force, but that doesn't matter if you're down to 1 land or not. And that is a big deal because, like, Russell Wilson has to play in such a way that the meaningful threat, let's say a Teferi Time Raveler right now, it's pretty awkward if you get it dazed. If you get it forced, whatever. 2-for-1s, not that big of a deal, but you do got to play a little bit slower, play a turn off maybe, or you just go for it in NBA Jam.
One of the things is, in these situations now, without Russell being able to have a green source, maybe start putting some permanents into play.
Yeah.
Not removing, and we just saw the Delver flip into Insectile Aberration.
How lucky.
When you get dazed early, especially if you daze from the draw, you can fall a little behind these control decks, especially if they deal with these answers. Now, clearly, we're seeing these threats get in, and so this now is a little scary.
Oh, okay, so that is not, like, absolutely insane. The Ponder will draw 1 card, and instead of that, Hall Breacher would just create a treasure, but Ozzy really does not want to see a Hall Breacher anywhere. anywhere near the battlefield. So we're going to be looking for a daze, and this could be something that Russell Wilson fights over because the card is that good.
Yeah, I mean, it will stop the Ponder draw because they've already drawn for their turn.
Oh, yeah, it'll stop the Ponder draw, but it doesn't stop, like, 3 cards. You still get to look at them,
yes.
You know, and it's only 1. But, yeah, here's that force to fight over it. Does Russell have a response? Yep. Boom, force of negation. Now, is there a daze or anything, or are we getting breached?
Getting breached.
And now even just that treasure, bro, just being able to keep a daze in check, even with that. And it's also green mana for everyone's favorite Titan.
That is very true. So these few cards that Russell have are very important, though, because there's 6 damage coming in the air.
Yeah, I think if I was Russell, I'd like to go fetch land, tropical island, Uro, and then go from there. That would be
a good start.
That would be ideal. Oh, man, I could write these things. I could write these things.
Getting all the basics out of the deck. This is so the force can't get wastelanded.
Yep. And, you know, you got Quaddle, so I guess that's a point, but probably a lesser point for sure.
Yeah, it's just to you know, instead of getting a duel in situations, it's nice to get your basics.
Only 1 card left in hand, though, bro, from Russell Wilson. And now we're going to see a chunk for 6. You got to think that Russell is under a 2-turn clock. There's probably one of the bolts in Ozzy's hand, or at least possible. So just bringing back Uro probably will buy you a turn. But
I was also going to say is there's a good chance that this is a Murktide Regent turn. Or not, because it
can't get countered.
And, well, because of the Hull Breacher in play,
you're
not going to be doing card advantage things.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Now you want to bring back Uro, and if you can pair it with a Swords to check Murktide, then awesome, because, well, you know, Dragon Rage Channeler has a little bit of work to actually get to that 3/3 as well. So, yeah, and decides to not even crack the Misty. Now, we don't have the Mystic Sanctuary in the main deck or anything. This is just to conserve life. Getting to 10 rather than 9 is a big deal.
Force of will.
And that's the game.
Yeah,
wow.
It's just so fast, so efficient.
And honestly, let's bring up our control deck here, our 4-color controls deck list. We'll take a look at the sideboard.
It's banned. Just call it banned. Just because you wrote 4-color in there, don't keep calling 4-color.
Hey, Brad, you know, saying that I did this deck list is admitting fault on the deck naming thing, and, you know, I'm not here for that.
Fault on the deck, you can pick band control.
I thought you were going to say because my name was up there, and, you know, that's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious that it was you that did it, yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a look at this deck list here. But honestly, bro, that is kind of how these top 8s at the Mana Traders work. You blink and you miss them. These things go fast.
Yes, they are going fast. So for everyone that's here, we are going to be following along with as much coverage as we can. We'll be watching the winners through this top 8, but all 8 players will be playing up to 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they will all be playing 3 rounds because there are points on the line for the December Invitational. Now, the 1st and 2nd place finishers today will go there. They will join the top 2 finishers during the
last one, Kane and Mogd.
Well, from the last top 8, and the two players from each league section of this tournament.
That's right. And one of the players, I can't remember the name, so sorry about that, but they went like 23-0 with Isildelver. Like, no big deal. Just didn't lose.
That's impressive.
Yeah, just some impressive stuff here. So looking at the sideboard of this Bant control deck.
Thank you.
It looks like we're going to be, you know, flying on a magic carpet of flowers here, like Aladdin with carpet of flowers. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to want that. Maybe Veils to fight the counter war. You know, we have Terminus. We have Prismatic Ending as options. What do you like here, bro?
Well, I definitely like Veil of Summer, the carpet of flowers, probably the additional Terminus and the Prismatic Ending for more of the combo side of it that doesn't really happen all the time.
Yeah.
I'm very curious what these back to basics are for. I'm a big back to basics fan.
Yeah.
Just keeping all dual lands tapped, and non-basic lands. I wouldn't think it's for this matchup though.
yeah, probably not for this one. And we're getting a great comment here from chat though. I think this is actually 5-color control because Hull Breacher can make red and black mana for Prismatic Ending for 5. So hey, great addition there, Xander the Greatest. Brad shaking his head, but
all right, that deserves a timeout. Perfect, Xander. Thank you.
Timed out.
Thank
Unreal.
you.
Xander, I'm going to be upgrading you to VIP after that 60-second timeout. You deserve it. You got wrongfully timed out there. All right, we're heading back to the match here since Brad's out here being a jerk here. All right, coming back to the match here. We got Ozzy on Izzet Delver up a match, or up a game, excuse me. Misty Rainforest coming down for Russell. Looks like both players kept again. Oh, God. Too good. Too good.
All right. Ponder to get some sculpting, make sure the lands are hit, maybe some, just trying to find the removal, just smoothing things out.
Yep.
Big fan of all the consistency in all these decks.
Yeah, it's just every single Legacy deck is insanely consistent, or it's Reanimator and it'll kill you on turn 1. Yeah. All right, we got Delver and Bobble here for Ozzy, holding on to that Bobble for a little bit to get a little bit more information. What's the reason to not crack that on upkeep?
In case they play a fetch land, it might not be. Well, you could do it on your turn to draw a card.
Yeah. Because if you run into a fetch land, if they just go fetch land go, you don't get that perfect information. I'm sure there's a reason I'm forgetting, and it didn't pay dividends here at all. But seems like you usually do that before draw step. All right, then we got Russell. All right, I guess I freed this person, not Brad. Brad is still in protest of freeing Xander the Greatest, but, we can't keep the great ones down, bro.
We can't keep the great ones down.
Can't keep Kobe down, you can't keep MJ, you can't keep Xander the Greatest down. The greats just rise.
All right, including the greats Russell Wilson playing Teferi Time Roller. Now, these are much more difficult to resolve after sideboard. We've got Daze, we've got any red elemental blast or Pyro the Blast.
Xander was accepting the fate that was pretty fair, yeah.
All right, tap out Daze here. Doesn't want to return a land because next turn it could be an expressive iteration.
Yeah, that's kind of screaming what this draw is to me, bro. Like, if you don't have a 1-drop that you want to play there or something like that, it feels like your hand is either really clunky or you just really wanted to leave Daze up. I don't know. That's an iffy one.
Just very reactive.
Yeah.
Could have a brainstorm maybe. Didn't want to fire it off. Sometimes these Delver decks do get to have a little slower reactive game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, main phase Brainstorm is going to be met with a Pyroblast. And these you always want to do. Also, one of the plays that I used to do a lot in Legacy. Now, it looks like Russell probably doesn't have the land drop, but there's a lot of times where I will try to bait a Pyroblast with a Brainstorm because I have the lands and the things that I want to do before playing a land. Like, play a Brainstorm main phase instead of the fetch land, do it end of turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you were going to say, sneak attack in some Gristlebrands. That was your style, right?
Yeah. I definitely used to do that. Now, we see an expressive iteration. We see Russell stuck in 3, and this is something we saw happen to Russell last time during the Swiss.
Really frustrating, losing this first round. You're not done playing Magic for the day, but you are done winning the tournament.
Yeah, you can no longer win the tournament if you lose a match.
Yep.
All right, another Brainstorm's getting fired off.
Well, that's not true, Brad. You could lose a match in the finals. I'll see myself out. Okay, yeah. I love you too, bro. That's what you're thinking, right?
So when you do improv or coverage, you do yes and, not no and.
But when you're a little brother, it's always the opposite.
See, that's a no and.
But when you're a little brother, I always have to do, argue with you and stuff. So I'm contradicted here doing coverage with you. It's a constant struggle, really.
I feel the struggle. All right, so we are seeing a Murktide region coming down. It looks like it'll be a 5/5 or a 6/6.
We got a 6/6. It's a powerful Magic card here coming down to present a very nice clock.
Swords of Plowshare takes that out. 2 cards. Is this a Jace the Mind Sculptor?
Oh, God. We've been talking about it all day, Brad. Jace the Mind Sculptor has been the single best card that we've been seeing all weekend. Just kidding. We've been talking a lot of trash about it, but it looks pretty damn good here, bro.
It's definitely here to save the day.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you tick it up to try to keep it alive for a turn and then use it next turn when you draw a natural and then brainstorm and have that fetch land? Or do you just try to find a single card off of it right now to deal with that Dragon Rage Channeler?
Yeah, it's tough because there is only, this could easily be Lightning Bolt, right? That could still be left in the deck. Maybe not the number 1 card you look at.
That's one of the cards you probably want to keep a couple copies, but you can just bring out the Pyroblast because it also kills all.
Yeah, it can just be a Pyroblast too. So that's the Punisher here.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, okay. We had a Pyroblast but we decided to leave Bobble in the graveyard instead, and there's a Mystic Sanctuary in Ozzy's deck, so maybe that's a bit of
Is there one in
regret.
Ozzy's deck? I don't believe there is.
I guess they all blended together.
Yeah.
All these Delver decks blended together.
I don't believe Ozzy has ones. I'm going to take a quick look here.
All of y'all can
there's
check.
There's not one.
Okay, forget what I just said, y'all. And yeah, otherwise, you know, that would have been a nice little play there. But that's probably the main reason to leave the Bobble. The artifact is the most unique card type for Unholy Heats and for Dragon Rage Channeler.
Yes.
So that makes complete sense from Ozzy's part here.
And it also makes it bigger.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we've got quad Volcanic Islands, a couple 1/1s. What's going to happen here? A Brainstorm, trying to get this Dragon Rage Channeler higher and also find an answer to this Jace. Now, if this Jace is dealt with,
it's basically game over.
Yeah.
I'm guessing when Russell played that Jace, you know, like we've done plenty of time, you right-click that concede button and you're ready to go if it does get countered, because it is that important here. Here we get a couple more Surveils, both cards put to the bottom.
Beautiful interaction with Brainstorm.
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a bolt, and that...
What is that, Brainstorm? It's not Delirium yet, is it?
it's not.
And, oh, hit a creature!
Yep.
Oh!
Jace is down.
Jeez. Sheesh. Wow. Okay, well, now you really got to like the chances from Ozzy here.
It feels so bad to not get that Brainstorm.
It really does. I think I would have brainstormed there or bounced. I really do think I would have, but obviously hindsight's 2020. But if it was a perfect world where there's just Bolt to deal with it, plus hitting Delirium, I'd agree with ticking up. But since that's not the case anymore with Pyroblast and stuff, it's so vulnerable already. You just got to draw some cards, set some stuff up, you know?
And if you find it, and you could also find a Terminus, and that Terminus could
True.
have been giving. So now what we have is a Narset that
And
found Carpet of Flowers. Carpet of Flowers is going to come down. The issue being there's nothing to do with that mana currently. There's no Earl in the graveyard. And that Narset is not long for this world.
Not long for this world. You really want to save your magical carpet rides for the beginning of the movie, like we saw in Aladdin and stuff, and you really want it in the beginning of the game here as well. And, you know, coming at the end, it loses a lot of its luster. Wouldn't you think, Brad?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, think if you saw that scene at the end of the movie. Like, would that really do the same thing? Like, it was a nice intro into this world, but if you just see them flying around at the end...
Are you really quoting... Aladdin.
I
tried to bring Aladdin into this.
I was trying, you know, like.
All right, DRC at Narset, DRC at face.
And now, I mean, honestly, though, if you see an Uro off the top after you Carpet of Flowers for 4 mana here, where you can play it and bring it back, advantage back in Russell Wilson.
Well, that would just be phenomenal, right?
Yeah,
like,
but there is only 2 of them, though. You know, we saw some other lists. Oh, okay. There's a magic card. Teferi Time Reveler is still a good draw, and that's still live for this Uro plan.
Yeah, all the green mana.
I know we're 1 blue short if we were to do it. But Teferi into Hall Breacher here, that's not exactly a miss. You know, not ideal, not Uro, which would be the #1 thing to get there, but still very strong.
It does shut down top decks of card advantage, like draw, but Express Iteration can get around that.
Exactly.
All right, attack at Teferi, takes that down. And it stays in play. So what are those 3 cards? Maybe Days,
probably. Yeah,
maybe card advantage.
You would have. Yeah, Days makes a lot of sense. You would have tried to counter Teferi, though, you know, if it was a Force of Will or something. So yeah, you got to believe that it's not that. And here's a Prismatic Ending. This could eat up a Force, though. This is a target. That makes a lot of sense. And instead we get Surgical Extraction. Using it now, we'll see what the target is.
It's mostly for just delving, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to get the surveilling.
Yeah, exactly. Perfecting your draws a little bit.
Going after Narsets.
Okay. Really want to save that Surgical for Uro, but honestly, if you stack it correctly, there's no opportunity where you could get rid of Uro with Surgical Extraction with this much mana. You know, if you really screw that one up, you know, and you put the sacrifice trigger first before the draw trigger, then, you know, that's kind of on you. You just, who does that at any time? You know, it's just a habit. You always hit the sacrifice trigger last. All right, so Surgical takes care of that, and we're going to see if we have a ton of mana. The nice thing is you get to draw first to see, and doesn't add mana. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, maybe is going to add it for second main phase. Lightning bolt on hold. Yeah, there it is.
I learned something about how Carpet of Flowers works, that you can use it in your second main as well.
You can use it in one of the two.
Okay. And thank you so much for being here, everybody, for the broadcast. We really appreciate all the support here in the channel. And, we're excited to bring you this top 8 all day and, future coverage endeavors for the rest of these Mana Trader series. So really appreciate you all being here. You too, bro.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet. I love the top 8 days. There's nothing like matches that truly matter. During the Swiss, of course, they all matter. But the ones that it's like win or go home kind of thing.
Oh, I do like commentating over potential, the go home. Same with sports. I don't watch a lot of the regular season, but I love.
I mean, didn't you go see Russell at a Seahawks game not too long ago? Yeah. All right, there we go. Ozzy taking down the first one. No magical top decks off the top here for Russell to be able to get it done. So.
Still a good finish, a top 8 finish.
Still a good finish. Still can get points.
Yep, not going to be what they were thinking about last night before bed about how today was going to go in. But guess what? If you play Magic, you're going to sometimes just make top 8, and that's okay, and it still feels good.
Oh, honestly, anytime you make a top 8, how often were you really disappointed? Like, of course, you always want to win the tournament, but top 8 is always the goal for these kind of events,
Yeah.
And then once you make the top 8, you have you reset your goals to obviously go higher, but it's hard to walk away from a tournament taking, a ton of money home and getting a top 8. So
for sure.
All right, Dan the Man, do we got any more of these top 8 matches going that we can jump into?
I assume some have to something.
We got it. That was
a
fast one.
Did they all finish? I don't think so.
Okay. Yes, excellent. Let's do the number 1 versus number 8 seed. We're heading into Sharkcaster Mage versus Tosselic. And
I believe so. This is is it Mirror?
Okay. All right. Yeah, Shark is the Maverick deck. Yes, Shark is the one who's been playing this Maverick deck excellently. And Shark's 2-0. Excellent.
Perfect.
No, just kidding. That's Dan just getting those stats ready. And this is either game 2 or 3, I imagine. And
all right, so we saw, so far in this game, we saw a Swords to Plowshare get Force of Willed, or the Crop Rotation did. But I believe the Crop Rotation is... maybe it did get countered. Well, no, there's nothing in Exile, so the Force had to get countered. All right, another Crop Rotation on the Dryad Arbor.
Yeah. Cool Crop Rotation art there, I must say. Is that a tree tending to the crops? That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Oh, on the Crop Rotation? Yeah, it looks great.
All right, and Sharkcaster was the person who did the best during the Swiss. I believe X1 rating there went in at the top.
All right, so Elvish Reclaimer in play against Insectile Apparition. Only 3 cards in hand after that Force. Oh,
there it is. Oh, is this Pyroblast?
Is this a... Ooh, that's big.
Woo, woo, woo. It's a good Magic card.
That is so big because while Wasteland's also good.
God, Legacy is so swingy.
Oh, sometimes so it's just a few permanents in place, scraping along.
Yep, exactly.
Now, keep in mind, though, if that Wasteland did go after that plateau, the Expressive Iteration could resolve, but then you wouldn't be finding a land drop, so...
Yeah, that's a very good point. And
it's not gonna that wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah, and I mean we only see I guess there is 3 Pyroblasts / Red Elemental Blasts.
Look, you gotta kill a Murktide Regent.
Yeah, you gotta kill it. That thing's too good. That thing is absolutely too good. We're gonna get those deck lists here loaded up for y'all so you can check it out. We got the Delver of Secrets flipping into Insectoral Aberration, and boom, there it is, bro. Murktide coming on in, and yeah, when you don't want to Swords Murktide over and over, play some Pyroblast. Why not? In Legacy, it just seems like you can play as many colors as you want. There
are punishing reasons not to.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, what was it?
But I mean, that 4-color deck looked great.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That 4-color deck. If you ever cast the card Blood Moon, they lost the game immediately.
All right, so searched up. This is a cool trick to try to create value. Searching up a Flagstones now that can then be sacked to get 2 lands out of the deck.
Yeah, such a nice little combo. Even a combo we did see in Modern. Green-White, Amulet. Did that kind of tricks for a while. Just overall really cool cards. Never heard of that card in my life.
This is a new card that came out of the Commander set with the the Blastoise. It is a Swift Recognition. It turns a creature into a vehicle, and it takes crew 5.
Okay. Does this card still get Murktide counters? So if you were to play another Murktide and exile a bunch of cards, can you then crew it?
I believe it loses all abilities. Can we look at Swift Recognition again, please? I do believe it loses all abilities.
We're noobs. I'm on a commander show, but I'm still a commander.
It loses all other card types. No, it would still get counters.
Do that. Okay.
And then you could crew it with the new Murktide.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You could.
I want to see the Murktide go vroom vroom.
Even though they're at 6, so like to be fair, they would just die to the 6/6 anyways. I still want to see.
I want to see the Murktide go vroom vroom.
All right, you heard it here, expert commentary. We want to see stuff go vroom vroom. Lego.
All right.
Coming in for 3. Sharkcasts are going to be down to 3. How many bolts do you leave in this matchup, bro? This seems like another one you don't want a lot of, right?
Probably not, but we're going to see Reclaimer get the Flagstones. That's going to put 2 lands in play. That Wasteland will probably take out something, maybe a green source.
And we got a really smart person in chat there, Venom's Flame, saying Corey's hair is looking good. We appreciate that. Thanks for kissing up to the casters. You know, we'll get you a VIP badge here in no time.
We're just gonna have random VIP people that say nice things to us. This isn't our normal channels.
I mean, we might, Brad. I mean, don't close the door on nice things being said. You know.
You better say really nice things.
Look at that, Pinky out with the glass of wine too. What a classy Twitch chatter.
Yeah, very fancy.
It. Yeah. All right, getting back to the game here. It looks like we are at Tosaluk's end step here.
Yeah, just trying to figure out if a Wasteland should be used right now or not.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Yep, do that.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, still just debating on which now it's on Sharkcaster making thoughts. I mean, it's a tough spot, right? 3 life. Now we do know Sharkcaster is up a game. That's great to know.
Yep. Sharkcaster is up a game here. Number 1 seed trying to defend, and I don't know, bro. I feel like whenever people say this kind of self-fulfilling stuff, it really does become a prophecy. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna guess Sharkcaster was not up a game. Looks like Tulsa took this whole match down. I was just gonna say, how many times have you exoed a Swiss and then just immediately lose in top 8? I feel like it just happens to me so much. If I go exo, I am destined to lose. I like to concede that last match to go get lunch or something and break that curse.
That happened to me. So in Omaha, I was playing Teamer Marvel.
Yep, I remember.
And I crushed the Swiss. I was at 13-0, and BDM came up to me.
I was like, I don't know how you're going with this. You won this event.
Somebody else went 15-0 a GP or 2 before and then didn't get there.
Yeah.
And people were talking about the perfect GP.
Yeah.
And so BDM's like, are you going for it? And I was like, no.
No.
I'm going to take my 2 rounds, relax, and then win the top 8. And he's like, but what about the record? I'm like, I'll take first place. Thank you.
Does the record pay extra $10,000 or is it just the normal $10,000?
Will a famous rapper know my name? I don't think so. I think taking first and taking the trophy home is good enough.
Dan, let's head to that final match that we still got going with Baku to check it out. But yeah, that is so good. Sir Mix-a-Lot would not indeed know your name. So this is our final match in the top 8 here. We got Baku against DM4X. I don't know if this is a playoff DMX, their name, but I'm here for it either way. Baku 91, also a phenomenal Magic player. Lost to them plenty of times throughout my career on Magic Online. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Pyroblast on this Murktide region. We're coming in a very interesting spot of the game, right? Because there's 3 cards, and the Murktide is only a 4/4, actually. It's very small.
Baby Murk.
Very tiny.
So small. Yeah, and how did we get there? There's so many spells.
Are those cards get cast after the Murktide?
It feels like it just got cast. Maybe it was one of those kind of bait scenarios where it's like, this is the first Murktide, and they have another Murktide that they're trying to go bigger on. And they're just like, this first one's not going to live, but if they want to continue to pressure, they're still going to have to deal with it. So that is a very good calculated risk.
You don't want to go all in on them either because of odds are there's Pyroblast.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
so many floating around.
Yeah. So that makes sense if that is.
Make it big enough to not get bolted and to block the apparition.
Exactly. No, so that could have been a great play here. All right, Pyroblast to deal with Insectral Aberration at the end step here.
Yeah, it's like I care way more about a potential Murktide or an Expressive Iteration, it seems like.
Yep, exactly. But if you're not going to play those, I'd like to not die, and I think here it comes. Here's going to be the big old Murktide. Maybe maxing this one out at a 7/7 or 8/8.
What a great play that's also going to run into a Pyroblast.
Exactly. Yeah. All this expert analysis we were giving.
Exceptional play. I totally love it, but here's another Pyroblast.
Yeah.
I can just feel it. All right, let's see. They're figuring out what they're going to be exiling.
Yeah, and just deciding where to max out at, All right.
Is it all?
Yep.
All right. I don't know if you could hear me just whisper that to Corey, but this just in. We just realized it's Delvermeers from here on out.
Unfortunately, this is the last of the top 8, and there were 3 non-Delver decks. They all lost, Brad.
We will feature every Delvermeer now, it seems, if we can get both in the next match. Yeah.
I think we will. So, everybody who is looking to have Delver be slayed, this ain't the event to do that. No, Delver will be reigning supreme. But the one good news we got going for all of us, y'all, the Delvermeers are sweet.
They are very good.
They're very sweet.
And we'll be able to get in on the ground floor, see those first turns develop. Because they're the matches we just keep coming over, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up here, we got a Murktide Regent coming down. And, from DM4X, got that Murktide countered as well, as you suspected, bro. And then here's a Murktide of their own. Brainstorm to try to find an answer, but Baku is definitely up against it here. It's going to be a tough one to come back from. You got to think that step 1 is shuffle your bad cards away, have a Pyroblast at end step. Maybe even you have to wait, bro, because you don't want to get it dazed if they do leave that in. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to also need to find an answer for Channeler while simultaneously not losing to Lightning Bolt. That's not great.
Lot.
That's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
But like you said, they probably trim or take out all the Lightning Bolts, so we'll see how many are left in, but...
All right, just figuring out what to put back on top of the library. It's an important turn, right? You're ahead. You're about to win.
Yep.
Let's just figure it out. Oh, gonna be Kraken. Going to 3 life.
Just shuffling those away.
Having to get those cards away. Yeah.
And now it's the point. Be like, okay, we got to brainstorm for some new threats. Starting with Brainstorm, even if you had Pyroblast, makes sense, though. You use that as bait, or you just need to find it, so this isn't telling of the hand quite yet.
There is no bait anymore. I need to find answers to these threats now.
Yes, that's true. And with one card, there's no counter spell for Pyroblast right now. So if Baku finds it, it will resolve.
Yep. Oh, yeah, the days of playing Hydro and Pyro and having mixtures of them are gone.
Yeah, totally agree. Let's see. They're thinking about it, so it's not automatically conceding,
That is true. Yeah. I didn't think about that, yeah. Well, there could be a Ponder, too. There's a lot of brainstorms into Ponder, shuffle, draw.
Yeah, it could be like DRC to block kind of thing. Okay, there's one red removal
There's
spell.
An answer to the least problematic threat.
Exactly, and that last card just has to be a Pyroblast, right? Or... Okay.
Well, I mean, why worry about today's problems when you can push them till tomorrow?
Exactly. Procrastination is what life is all about. So.
Yeah, love it, Baku. I'm all about that.
And Brazen Borrow is a 2-turn answer for the card. It's not a permanent answer, but, here we go. Here's Expressive Iteration.
This is what I like to call the snowball.
Yes.
It's, you're down a lot of cards and a lot of value, and I have a lot of things going on, and I'm still going to draw better than you.
Exactly. You're a big fan of snowballing magic, right, bro?
Oh, I love it.
It's your favorite. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I've heard from Brad, on our podcast. just from chatting with you. You love when Magic just snowballs, and it doesn't matter what you play, right? You just cast cards.
Yeah, and I love when there's no combat.
Yeah.
You just get Embercleave and stuff and love it.
Attacking and blocking is overrated.
That is a 7/7 Murktide.
Off the top, too.
Off the top.
Yeah. And we have Brazen Borrower to block as well. If there is, let's say, a Pyroblast, the game's not completely over. Not looking good, though. I'll tell you that.
We are seeing a Brainstorm here. This Brainstorm is going to probably set a spell up on top, so this Delver gives us all the secrets.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was starting out, now Mad Legacy's way differently, but I played Rug Delver at my first Legacy tournament.
Okay.
It was an invitational. It was my first invitational. We're talking 2011.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit later than that, but yeah, it was early. And everyone then was like, I'm a Legacy specialist.
Yeah.
All the grinders were all Legacy specialists. And they gave me so much advice.
Yeah.
And most of the advice was, if you play turn 1 Delver, don't Brainstorm during your upkeep. And I'm like, why not? I can flip it immediately. It's like, don't do that. That's a bad play. And I just did it all tournament.
Yeah.
No, it was terrible, but I still did well.
Is that bad? Because I was doing that too.
Well,
okay, to be fair.
Chat, is it good or bad?
Okay, but here's my first experience with Legacy, and it was on Versus Live. My very first Legacy match, I'm just playing on Versus, and I'm like, oh, what can go wrong here? And I just go turn 1, Volcanic, Brainstorm, and Ross is like, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I'm talking upkeep.
He still
Delver.
daggers me to this day for that, and honestly, rightfully so.
It's like, turn 1, bolt you. You're at 17, your turn. All right, Polluted Delta is going to be... shuffling away, potentially, the previous turns. Things are just trying to sift a little to find an answer. It is, this Murktide does stand bigger than everything, but is, a 2 threats could actually just win this game. But the Delver did not flip, actually, last turn.
Yep. No secrets.
All right, two blockers. Now, I mean, anything, right? There's only one card in hand. Now, even tapping all the red, just saying, I don't have a Pyroblast. This is like,
yeah.
It's like, I don't have it. I'm attrition. I'm out of gas. Oh, but no answer either, and just another DRC, so passing the turn. Is there a comeback from 2 life? Ponder off the top. Let's see what actually can come from the spawner, because there could be a comeback now anytime. Lightning can strike and end it all here. But maybe another Murktide. Maybe, I mean, how many? I don't even know if there's any Murktides left. All right, Pyroblast, take out the Murktide.
Okay.
Still can't really attack though, right? Both those threats could become 3 power.
Yeah, if this would be a comeback win from Baku, it would be so impressive, because just being on the back foot this many turns in a row, not only do you have to keep drawing things, but you have to keep your opponent bricking on things,
When you talk about gut shot, this attack could have, if there's a gut shot, it was lethal. Getting around the Brazen Borrower,
yeah. Gut shot FTW. All right, so we got Expressive Iteration coming here. A very good draw. A very good draw from Baku. That's exactly what you want. Now, we are also looking that 4 minutes coming into play here a little bit. But, bro, there is a Lightning Bolt as well that is going to be able to deal with one of these threats. Plus, you refilled the hand. Like, all of a sudden, it's starting to look like it's a little bit of DM4X top decking a Lightning Bolt here, or, maybe falling. Yeah.
I mean, the Murktide stands alone. That's usually the winner here. And the biggest one is on the comeback story right now.
Yeah, this is insane.
All right. The DRC, or sorry, not the DRC. The Delver now can attack for 1 damage.
Yeah. Attack for 1. No blocks. Gut shot. 1 time. Is this even the gut shot list?
It is not.
Oh, okay. All right, there's a Wasteland. That is not good.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There's 2 cards in hand. I don't know if they're good or not.
This is a free attack, but now lethal is on the other side of the battlefield.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm a little...
I'm here for it.
Are we ending the festivities?
Oh, God, would that be sick? It's a card you leave in. we're saying go. Upkeep, there's got to be a Pyroblast or something.
Why? There's nothing?
This is just DM4X just losing the game.
All right, Delver.
You would bolt. You would bolt during your turn. This looks like the comeback has happened.
No. Well, oh yeah, it's only 7, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what is...
But if there is a red elemental blast, then if that Delver flips...
If there was a red elemental blast, you already would have had to do that.
No, but you might...
What?
No! What?
The
Why?
ultimate slow roll? I guess with Force of Negation, you're already at 1, so you can't cast it. Why not just cast it, though?
Oh, this is so salty!
This is so salty!
This is... Oh, my God!
Oh, my God!
What?
Oh, my God. Baku might let that last 3 minutes time out, and, you know what? We'd kind of believe it, but yeah, Pyroblast not going to do it. Oh my God.
I can't believe it.
I cannot believe that either. But it does make sense to some regard. Okay, this isn't even the match. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the match. Oh, perfect. It's not even the match. It's not over.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, they only have 3 minutes left?
That's why they did it that way.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It's not salty. Yeah. I thought it was game 3. It was, you knew. Okay, I get it.
Okay.
I take all that back, DMX.
This is truly technical play by DM4X that is working the clock. I mean,
this is Magic Online greatness.
Yes, Magic Online grinding right here. Sometimes, you know what? And I mean, that's the thing. You know, the clock is part of the game in Legacy.
No, of course it is.
You know, like there is no like, oh, wow, you know, they're playing to the clock.
Are you going to concede early against Nassif? No.
No, you play.
He's going to take 10 minutes randomly for a turn 1 land drop.
Exactly, and that is sometimes an out to a player like that. So this is completely reasonable. Wow. Unreal. Yeah, I wonder how long. Here's the real next level thing, bro. How long did DMX4 have that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that would be crazy, though. If they had it for multiple turns where they're like, there's no way at 1 they're going to be able to do anything.
If they can win 5 more games before they lose 2, we might get to ask them.
That's just math.
Just math.
Okay, so we're just going to stay right here, y'all, and the match will begin here after this. It's 2 Izzet Delver decks, believe it or not. They're going to be bringing in these Pyroblasts and stuff. Nothing too crazy to evaluate when it comes to the sideboard.
Those are games. The top 8, just so everyone knows, is 3 rounds, and we're only going to be covering the winner side of it.
Yeah.
Now, all 8 players will play out an entire bracket.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be just focusing on the winners.
Winning. Yep. And we will be staying here with the winner of this match, playing up against Tulsuk for the next round. So if you got one of these players that's your favorite, well, guess what? If they keep winning, you're going to see them all the way to the finals, qualified for that end of the year Mana Traders event, winning just barrels of cash. I'm pretty sure they just barrel them into your place of, you know, where you reside, and they just dump money on you.
To the place where you reside.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else there.
All right, so we saw a turn 1 Dragon Rage Channeler into Wasteland and Mishra's Bauble. So these are those plays it's like, I'm hoping that you're just stuck on 1 land.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, so if it works, boom, the game is over, you know? Oh, okay.
Nope.
And here it's just going to be Baku is probably trying to click as fast as they possibly can, as well as keep as an aggressive hand as humanly possible, would be my assumption.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
They have 2.5 minutes. And these take a long time to grind through. This is going to be very tough for this match not to end up on clock.
On clock, yeah, exactly. And, you know, I mean, that's DM4X's reward for playing turns at a fast rate. You know, you get this breathing room where you get to play, you know, completely perfectly. Of course, some players, you know, like LSV and Shota, they can play as fast as they want and they will still play clean technical Magic. Not everybody is like them, and being able to play a little bit slower is definitely an advantage.
It does come with a cost, though.
Absolutely.
All right, so stuck on 1 land, though. Stuck on 1 land, not really getting any engines revving now.
Or maybe we dazed, right? So
did we daze?
I think we dazed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Coming in with that polluted delta here for DM4X. This DM4X is our only returning top 8 member from our Pioneer one last
we didn't daze,
season?
just so you know. This was a surveil off the
Oh,
Pyroblast,
okay. That makes sense.
Targeting the Delver of Secrets.
That makes sense.
All right, upkeep Lightning Bolt on the DRC. That's going to stop the threat as well as maybe some card selection.
Yep.
Having to pass turn. Playing very fast, still 2 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock. We got 6 for DMX going to their turn. They play Wasteland. That's probably going to take out another Volcanic Island, making it much more difficult for Baku to get any velocity in this game to deal damage.
Yeah, 100%. You know, just being able to have pretty much all that our top opponent wants is just to be able to play things like Wasteland, Bolts, Pyroblast, just all that kind of stuff to just make sure this is as long of a match as possible because, well, you win that game.
And we're seeing in chat that maybe the name is Dimax. I think it is.
Brad, this is the first time we've ever got a name wrong, either Magic cards or actual
I mean,
names, so.
it happens.
It does.
Once in a blue moon.
Thank you, chat, for correcting us on that. Appreciate that.
All right, so Brainstorm. So this is a great spot. You get to sculpt and play a defensive game where they have, not only do you have a little bit of the land advantage. Okay, well they're coming back. Baku finally finds that second land and finds another threat. With only 3 cards, if there's nothing too exciting in there, I mean, I'm assuming there is. There's so many good cards, right? There's Murktide Regents.
Their whole
Expressive
deck.
Iteration.
Yeah,
their whole deck.
Their whole deck is good cards. That's just how I always feel for Legacy. I was playing in someone at the SCG Philly, and they're like, yeah, you just kept drawing the perfect answers to my threat. I was like, I just flipped over the deck. I'm like, have you seen this deck? It's all answers and 1 mana efficient threats.
Well, thank you so much for saying that whole ipt.
I was just going to make the same joke. Holy Diver there. We appreciate that comment there about loving us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. 2 mana for a Murktide, making it a 4/4. That does
there
take...
it is.
That exhausts the only spell.
Yeah, one thing we got to see from Baku is like Pyroblast on that Murktide, get Delirious, start getting in there, and another threat. That's ideal. There's threat. Now we need one of these Pyroblasts to be able to trigger Delirium. You would play it before. Here we go. This is the line to win if we can get Delirium. But here's the thing, bro. If you miss here, or if this gets countered, you're forced to attack into this Murktide, and the game's basically over. So this is the game right here. All right, we're live.
Things are happening.
I mean, you can F6 enough turns and just right-click, attack, and go to combat. That only takes up a couple seconds. Me and you, we were Magic grinders before we were ever professional Magic players or professional commentators, so we know our way around an F6.
We definitely do.
All right, that does look like there's only 2 types. One of those lands for Dimax is not going to give them Delirium. And with only 1 card here, this is a lot of F6. Do you have anything? F6 attack. Do you have anything? This really might be Baku taking this down. This is a 2-turn clock after this still.
This is so impressive.
Yeah, oh my god, I'd be so tilted if I was Dimax, just, playing so tight and then just losing it when they only had 2 minutes. And a reminder, people in chat, let's not swear. Let's be nice. Let's be good. We're all people on the internet, but you know what? We can be civilized people on the internet. We appreciate y'all.
All right, so Petty Theft, slowing some of the pressure, being able to block another one. Nice way to stem the bleeding.
Yeah, and that that may help Delirium as well here. You need an instant or a sorcery. Not really the usual things that you need.
No.
From these Delver decks. That's most of your deck.
Yeah, especially when you're casting an instant that does not go there.
I know, yeah. Petty Theft is really an awkward card, but it is a good one.
Wait, what? Where?
Are they countering their own?
No, I guess Petty Theft is coming from...
Oh, coming on the opponent's... Okay, so Pyroblast that to protect it. Yeah, and this is at the end of Die for Max, so this was essentially kind of going for it. But if we hit the spell... We didn't hit Delirium, though, still.
You can just crack a Scalding Tarn.
But if you have a Lightning Bolt or something to deal with DRC, that's just game.
It's not looking good, no.
Wow.
Huge comeback.
Yeah, this is insane. Sacked beforehand. Baku with all this time to spare. All right, and there's 3 damage. 1 turn clock. Is there a bolt here? You know, how fitting would it be if Baku waited to cast this lightning bolt for a little bit? Like, you know,
no,
cast it at
3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds on the clock.
And then you get a lag spike, and then you get timed out. But okay, here's Murktide Regent. Now there's 2 threats to answer with 1 card for die max. You got to think that there's got to be something there. Maybe like a Daze, that would make sense that that's in their hand. But then you got to top deck something to be able to deal with this DRC, or we're going to have our 4th member into this top 4, and our 4th is a Delver deck.
All right, let's see. I mean, nothing's happening yet, but they've got to find answers for 2 threats.
Yeah.
Down to 2 life.
Kind of irrelevant. Okay, so there's an answer to 1. If there's like a ponder or something.
Or expressive iteration.
Yep. Expressive iteration.
No,
okay,
brainstorm.
So here's brainstorm.
That does answer one of the threats.
Yep. And if you answer the other one, it might be just the clock that really comes into play. Like, still behind, and May would lose this game, but the clock might bail Dimax out.
All right, well, that'll block the DRC. The Pyroblast will take care of the Murktide. All right.
Okay, that is...
Phil, for a little more sculpt, gets rid of an island from that brainstorm.
Seeing in chat here that Baku has a reputation for always drawing, even when playing Burn in Spain, so...
Expressive iteration.
Okay.
Can we find the lane? Can we find the bolt? 38 seconds on the clock.
Pyroblast to the graveyard. Not wanting that. Dealing with the blue threat, or with a red threat instead of blue. Scalding Tarn to exile. It's being cracked pretty quickly. Is this the dagger?
Steamben's shocking yourself. Oh,
okay.
Just a DRC.
Probably a DRC F6 value. I mean, here's where we got to speak fluent Magic Online.
22 seconds. It all comes down to this top deck from Dimax. Let's see what Dimax has.
Okay, 59 seconds on our opponent's deck. I'm glad we came in to check this out. Passing the turn, only 1 card drawn. You got to think that that's just a land. We're going to see an attack here. There's no real reason that Dimax would have not cast anything, and that's the game.
Baku wins with 20 seconds
on the clock. Wow. God, that just made me... it just really brought back all of the Magic Online grinder-ness in with me. Just having to win on such a quick turn after you play some crazy match, you know? Coming back to the booth here, y'all. Welcome back. I'm Corey. That's Brad. And that was a nail-biter.
That was a good match. And you know what? We might only have Izzet Delver left in the top 4 to show you. But guess what?
If it's like
very exciting.
If it's like that, I don't care if there is only Izzet Delvers. I'm completely fine checking that out.
I'm good with that, yeah. So our top 4 players are going to be getting lined up here. We're going to take a short break.
Yep. Let's take a short 5-minute break there, and we should be ready to go.
Yeah, we're going to get the players lined up. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mana Trader series featuring Legacy. My name is Corey Baumeister. That's Brad Nelson, and we're going to be bringing you coverage here of the top 4. And Brad, guess what? It's all Delver.
I knew that.
Delver all the way down here from here on then.
Yeah, we've got 4 Izzet Delver decks in the top 4. Now, we thought coming into this month, you know, we're in the Legacy Mana Trader series.
Yeah.
We got a ban. It's going to shake things up.
And a new set. Yeah. We saw some new cards that made some appearances in some of these Death and Taxes deck, Lion Sash. You know, we saw the Blastoise Commander card and stuff, but so far, tried and true, blue-red cards coming up on top. Now, we did have 3 other non-Izzet Delver decks for anybody just joining, but they did not make it.
They all got smushed.
Did all get smushed.
Under the foot of the Ponder Brainstorm Days Force of Will strategy.
Can you believe it? They're pretty good cards still.
Yeah, they've always been pretty good. Yeah, so and the new iteration, you know, brings back Delver, has Murktide Regent, and Dragon Rage Channeler, along with a few Brazen Borrows, good in the mirror, just a good efficient card. It is wild to me when Throne of Eldraine came out, and we're still seeing adventure creatures in Legacy.
Yeah, no kidding. When are the Great Henges still going to make an appearance? And honestly, Oko got banned. The ultimate Throne of Eldraine card was still just completely destroying this format.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so it makes a lot of sense here. A couple things before we get into it. We will be announcing the March Mana Trader series after this round, so you're not going to want to miss that. If you want to perhaps play in the next one, it's a good one. I'm excited to announce that, as well as anybody who wants to just start playing Magic Online. You saw a deck that you loved, or just Pioneer, Modern, Pauper, any of those formats you really want to give a shot, ! Bash Bros in the chat. That will give you the code to get yourself 20% off your first 2 months of subscriptions, and that's the best code in the land. There's a lot of 15s out there, but nobody beats 20.
We don't need to brag. We don't need to brag.
But we still can, right?
But we still can. I just threw it up there in chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to bring us here to the top 4. First, let's take a look at these deck lists here. Dan, hit me with one of them here. Doesn't matter. Let's start with Baku, I guess. They're all is it. Let's start with Baku 91 here. The self-proclaimed, I guess not proclaimed, I can't talk today, but told to be a very methodical player as well, hailing from Spain. So, you know, it pays to think out your plays, bro.
It definitely does. In top 4, and they're just figuring some stuff out, and they'll be playing real shortly here. But, I mean, this is the version that has the Gutshot, has the 5th Pyroblast effect. Those help in the mirrors. Even a Snapcaster Mage probably does come in. It's just a good attrition-based matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the capability of getting out ahead and pulling forward, but it's really difficult after sideboard because both decks have so many answers, so many ways to find them.
Yeah, and it just comes down to, bro, you know, there's some mirror matches that are like, you know, whatever as far as skill goes, you know, like if you have a way better Fires of Invention player, who cares, right? You know, like, you're casting the cards, you're playing your cards on the table. If you have a skill disparity when it comes to these Delver mirrors, it really shows. Now, we're down to the top 4. All of these Delver players are incredibly well matched. You know, all great at it. They've been playing it all weekend and probably a long time before that, so we're not going to see that kind of disparity. So we're just going to see these kind of games that come down to 1 life point, 1 minute on the clock, you know. Like, I would guess that Baku 91 is going to start playing Magic a little bit faster from the beginning on this one.
We'll see. I don't even think so. I think you found the line. You had plenty of time to spare. 20 seconds is a lot of time.
Exactly. So let's take a look at the other deck list here. Players should be getting ready to go here. They're going to be about creating their match, so we're going to look over this deck list real quick, and then we'll be hopping into the top 4 of the Mana Trader series. Okay, I was going to say, did it change? I guess it did. This is the new list. The one big difference here that I really want to focus on is the Mystic Sanctuary in the main deck that could really come up. I think it's just going to mainly for Game 1 return Expressive Iterations, and then post-boards, you know, be able to bring back Pyroblast, or let's get real, Expressive Iteration. Now, this is also a 4 Wasteland mirror match, so the chances that you get to 4 land, not impossible, but it's a little tough.
It's usually going to happen. These games go long. Like, the Wastelands do cause problems early game sometimes, especially if you're just on one of those one-landers. But these decks play a little bit more lands than I used to.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. All right, so looks like they are starting. Let's just dive into this Delver Mirror session. It's going to be fun, so let's do this. Hey. What's up, everybody? Diving into saying hi to us first, and then we're diving into the match, you know? I like it. Okay, so underway here. Looks like both players have kept their 7s.
Yeah, this Mr. Bob is going to allow Baku to know if there's going to be a Delver Secrets flipping on the opposite side. And going to do draw a card before revealing.
All right, there we go. Our first flip.
Does flip.
And the blind flip. When it's not set up, it feels good.
Yeah, it happens a lot. There's a lot of spells in these decks.
Yeah, that's very true. So, Insectile Aberration coming on in from Baku.
All right, first blood in the match. All right, let's see what what the follow-up is. Just ponder, getting a little sculpt action going, filling that graveyard for those Murktide Regents.
Absolutely. I do love that art too. The classic Lorwyn art. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, I'm all for the boomer arts of things. I need my Urza Saga Duresses.
Yes.
My Lorwyn Thoughtseizes.
Damn right.
My Future Sight Tarmogoyfs. I need them all.
You can't leave Tarmogoyf out.
My Innistrad Liliana the Veils. That's my modern action.
Oh, that card costs 3 mana, right? That's not playable in the color black, right?
That is true.
Yeah,
yes.
Lurrus too good. All right, coming on in here with that Ponder, fetching out a Volcanic. And just bolting Delver. We'll see if there is a Daze. This is one of those scenarios for Baku. You're just like, yeah, if you daze that and you're left with 1 land and I have 2 lands and a threat, sure. So, yeah.
Actually, correction, I didn't notice that. But what was really interesting about Baku's decision was that Mishra's Bauble actually targeted him. So what happens during the upkeep, you'll get both triggers, and you can stack them based on what the top card of your library was.
Yeah.
And so because it wasn't a spell, they drew first. And then hit. Yeah.
That's right.
And if you see a spell on top, then you put the Delver trigger first before it. That's a really cool, interesting little thing that Baku did there.
I did see that from Andrea Mangucci. Gave us all a little tutorial on his Twitter here for that exact same scenario like 2 days ago. Yeah, that is a really cool play, I must say.
All right, the first expressive iteration we're going to see from the top 4, but it will not be our last.
It will not be the last, or there is some weird scenarios of draws that are going to be happening, that's for sure.
All right, Wasteland gets revealed.
I believe we did play a land already, played the expressive iteration after the land drop. Something you don't normally see, but it does play around days. So that seems like the logical reason to do that. Just expecting that you're going to hit a 1-drop, but there's a fail rate to that.
Yeah, all right. So that daze created a Surveil, putting Brazen Bar into the graveyard. Daze it back to make sure that threat is gone.
Each players are dazed. Neither are confused, though, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I do think playing the land is fine because a lot of times with this deck, there's so many 1-drops that your expressive iteration can find 2 spells.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not like in Standard where you're looking for those land drops.
Exactly. Like you're playing the Izzet deck that we loved in Standard a lot, the Alrund's Epiphany style deck. You can't really do that. There's not a lot of 1-drops, so you're always looking for that land as one of your cards. Not the case when most of your deck costs 1.
All right, Big Murky T is going to be coming down. How big is it going to be?
Well, there it is.
I'm assuming it's going to be a big old 7/7.
I'm going to assume at least 6. There's a chance that you leave 1 instant or sorcery in your graveyard to then help for Murktide, but the whole 7/7 is for game 1. It can't be killed basically at all. Double Bolt is off the table. So, yeah.
You already see the Brazen Bar in the graveyard.
Yeah, so that's a good point. You're just playing around Force of Will at this point. And if there's no Force... Game 1 Murktide Regents look a lot different than Game 2 Murktide Regents.
All right, let's see what they're deciding to exile.
Baku, of course, just trying to get the clock a little lower, try to play with fire a little bit more.
Yeah, saw how exciting that was for us.
Exactly. Just doesn't want to get it too close. You want to make sure you see the red numbers by the end, otherwise it's not really a true accomplishment.
Yeah, just a crowd pleaser all around.
Exactly. Now, let me remind y'all that this is a very big match. This is the top 4. So the winner of this will be going to compete with Kane, Reinhardt, and Mogd, as well as some other players already to that end of the year Mana Trader series that I'm looking forward to.
They don't have the nomenclature for it yet, but I'm just calling it the December Invitational.
December
Mana Traders Invitational.
Okay. I like it. It is by invite only, so it's a very good name.
It's very exclusive.
Yeah, I think they did say something like 48 players or something like that going to be in the end. So, a little bit bigger than these world-style tournaments that I know you've played in a ton of, bro. What do you got, like 4 or 5 under your belt?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's a good sign that you get playing a lot. That's something I've always dreamed of through my professional career, is playing in one of those small tournaments. And even a 48-person tournament with high stakes is something that both players are going to be very, very much looking to get.
Well, this is very interesting. Didn't go big at all with this first one.
Okay.
Now, I am not that proficient in the Izzet Delver Mirror.
Yeah.
So I would have just jammed, but it does make sense. There's 4 cards, probably Force of Will.
Yeah, and even as a 4/4, I believe that this was, because it could have been a 7/7. It's still out of 1 removal range, but...
It feels like in these decisions, this just, to me, signifies that Baku could stop an opposing bigger one, right? Because if you make a 4/4 and then they make a bigger one, you better have one follow-up.
Yeah, or just has another one no matter what. Like, if we just see right now, tap 3 lands, exile those 4, then this becomes a 7/7 as well.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Or an 8/8, excuse me, but yeah.
So that would signify to me that they either have an answer to Murktide or another one.
Yeah. And looking like at least not deploying this one.
Yeah, it doesn't want to get it dazed, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You'd have to tap all 3 lands.
You'd have to, yep, you're right. All right, 1 lightning bolt, 2 lightning bolts, and the best art on lightning bolts. Don't at me.
Force of Will to protect. Pitching Brazen Bar.
There's another one, and there is all of the cards in Tulsalec's hand for this. Is there a way to deal with this? There's usually, with 1 card, you know, there's not one thing that gets you out of losing this.
The Pyroblast!
Oh, get him a body bag. Wow, the Pyroblast, the one-of in the main.
Now I'm just saying, if this was a 7/7, it would be a 2-turn clock. It would be lethal next turn.
And you're right, bro. Look at this. There was no
answers.
Murktide. Can we check the exiled? Maybe Force?
No.
Maybe Murktide was pitched to one of those Force?
Check that exile zone right there.
It wasn't.
It was a Brazen Borrower.
It was a Brazen Borrower, but yeah, bro, this would have. This maybe comes back to bite him. Still, definitely Baku's game to lose, especially with a top deck expressive iteration there. Just basically the best card that you could top deck. Yeah, impressive work here. We're going to see that Ponder. 1 card was brought to hand with expressive iteration as well. So now got to sculpt. Went from 0 cards in Baku's hand to 2 sculpted cards. 2 cards that Baku actively wants. Impressive.
Yes. All right. Still not even yet. Not even a 2-turn clock. So gonna need a little bit more. But with 3 cards, we've probably seen a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Or just, this is just going to be the Murktide lethal. I love it.
Oh, baby.
Made this card to do this.
Yeah, Brad, I'm going to ask you this personally, since you were the designer of this card. Why the extra line of text? Did it need it? It wasn't good enough?
Because it's so you don't, in my opinion, you don't want cards that automatically always have the same play pattern.
Yes, true, because it gets stale, right?
Yes, because that was a decision point. That created a decision point. It created a lethal attack.
Yeah, hey, that is some cool stuff. Definitely adds a power level to this card. And the thing I love the most about that line of text is just like the Mystic Sanctuary. Put 1 card away, that's nice.
But I also thought, now this was back before, like we were worked on this set before expressive iteration. I didn't even know that was a card.
Okay, yep.
And so like,
because you worked on this years in advance, correct?
Yes, actually, like the 4th. To put it into perspective for everyone, it was pre-COVID, but the 4th week of work, we actually did remote. I was there for a month, and the 4th week was like the first week of like, hey, this thing is happening.
Yeah.
And Wizards was very safe about it.
Yeah.
Very safe about it.
And still has been, got to respect their decision, keeping people safe above everything else. But
to get back to that story, I didn't know expressive iteration existed. A lot of like Uro was still around in Modern.
Okay.
And so I was building decks with Snapcaster too. So I was interacting with Snapcaster.
Oh, baby.
Like I didn't know it was such a boomer 2 years ago.
Well, to be fair, players interacting with Snapcaster in this top 4, so you nailed it.
That is true.
You absolutely nailed it here. Getting into the next game here, looks like we're going to have Tulsuk on the play. And looks like both players kept. Not a lot of mulliganing from our Delver players so far, but to be fair, it's a very consistent deck.
It's especially this format because like a Brainstorm can get you out of the extra lanes that are in your openers, or when you're stuck on lands.
Yeah.
It's a little riskier then, but yeah, you got Ponders, you got Brainstorms.
Yeah.
They help sculpt. You usually only mulligan when you don't have a colored source.
Yeah. The amount of hands that I've mulliganed with this at Delver is when I either had no lands and it was just the obvious shit back, or it was just like 2 Wastelands as my only lands.
Yep.
Outside of that, like even if you just have DRC Bobble, 1 Volcanic, it's like, yeah, that's probably fine. Or Brainstorm
And it's
Ponder,
also super detrimental to mulligan in Legacy because there isn't a ton of like true inherent card advantage.
Yeah.
So every card you're down, you don't really get back.
Yeah, and I think you've kind of said this phrase a lot too. The Legacy, as much as we've joked around about kind of snowbally, it's not necessarily snowbally magic. It's more velocity-driven magic when it comes to these Delver Mirrors. The Uro decks, of course, they're trying to snowball your opponents into just a, an unlosable scenario. But in these matches, it's all about velocity. It's all about making sure you have enough cards to keep up with your opponent.
Yeah, you just want to keep the engine revving as long as you can.
Absolutely. Vroom, vroom. All right, second DRC coming down. A very good start for our bottom player.
Land after a ponder.
And it looks like we are waiting for Baku, so this has resolved. There's no days or anything available, but that would have been a brutal days.
If it was there, yeah, but every time I got days after sideboard in the mirrors, I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. You know, when I'm on the play, you know, I still think there's some merit to it. You just go DRC and say go, they go DRC, and you get to daze it. Like, already that exchange is pretty sweet. But, of course, late game, it's really bad. The only thing I notice is post-board games, nobody plays around days. And that actually gains more value for days, you know? So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Until your opponent has a Murktide and you have a daze in hand.
Well.
Late game. I'm just saying, like, that's the cost.
But they had to tap out for it, Brad. There wasn't enough cards in their graveyard, so.
Yes, and.
Coming in here with a Delver to be able to stop these Tulsuks. Looks like we do have creature, sorcery, land in the graveyard, so one type away. Convenient Brainstorm would make these both delirious.
Yeah, and this just shows, you know.
All right, True Name Nemesis as the card.
Interesting. Now that just happens.
Yeah.
The True Name Nemesis is one of those scary things that all these interactions, as long as like you keep, you know, interacting with cards, this one's gonna keep dealing 3. It's just, I'm going to attack for 3. I'm going to attack for 3.
So, of course, me being the legacy expert that I am, I, of course, know what this card does. But what about the people at home? What does True Name Nemesis do?
You really don't?
It's just protection from, like, everything, right?
No, it's protection from a player, which is everything of that player.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Yeah, I've not played with this one.
If they cast Pyroclasm,
yeah,
it won't take damage because there's protection from that Pyroclasm. But if you cast Pyroclasm, it would die.
Because you're the player casting it. That is a template of a card that we don't see anymore, right? Like, they no longer pro-player kind of thing.
No, this was a one-of, and we all didn't like it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, we're not going to keep doing this one.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like for all the people that are like, Ward is better than Hexproof.
Yeah.
We've all accepted that True Name Nemesis is better than Hexproof. There's a Daze!
Yeah. Oh, hey, there we go. A Daze believer. So, yeah, we got True Name Nemesis at the Wizards of the Coast, you know, design team that's on a big whiteboard that just says, don't do that.
So, True Name Nemesis, as Tron is saying in chat, was a commander card. And in commander, you pick a player that you have protection from. It's cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's cool. How come every commander card that, like, makes its way into a constructed format is always busted? It's like Nexus of Fate, Golos, you know, like all these things that just wreak havoc.
Was Nexus of Fate a commander card?
It was one of those like promo cards. It was in something.
I thought it came out with one of the core sets.
It was in like a secret lair or something, but I know it
came out in the core set.
Okay, chat.
You have to help us with this argument.
Yeah, we'll argue forever. It was a buy a box. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was the buy a box promo for like 2020 or
okay, but you couldn't get it in just booster packs, is what I'm saying. Is like you couldn't just draft it from a set that was a standard legal set. I know it was something like that.
All right, so getting back into the action, Tusselek won thanks to that True Name Nemesis.
Yep, evening it up there.
No way to beat it. I mean, now there are ways to actually beat it that have counterplay in. I'm talking Boomer Legacy when you still played like Council's Judgment. And stuff like that, where it's like
we saw a little bit of that from some of the Death and Taxes.
There was times where I at least played when you played a lot of True Name Nemesis. I remember at least at one point like that you really needed to make sure it didn't resolve.
Yeah, nope, makes sense here. Both players kind of seeming like they're just sticking with their configuration here. We'll see if Daze is still left in for the player that had it.
And that is true. Yeah, minus effects do kill it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like Plague Engineer could take it out.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Plague Engineer is a card that's seen a little bit of play in some of these Sultai decks to deal with elves or something like that. But other than that, not really played. But I guess would come in against Delver. Why not?
Yeah,
Get to kill a creature right away.
Volcanic versus Volcanic. There's a Ponder to select.
Ooh, I might like that Ponder art more. I forgot about that one. That one's good.
Not my
You like the lower one?
For sure. Okay. I'm Lauren. All right, Flusterstorm.
Ooh, me oh my. Won't be resolving that one through any spells. Flusterstorm is an excellent counterspell at playing around Force of Negation, Force of Will, stuff like that. It does target the spell multiple times to counter it. Looks like we got a Flooded Strand here and a pass, followed by Tulsuk's Misty Rainforest and pass. Just trying to do a little draw go here.
All right, Bobble comes down. Taking a look at themselves. Seeing if they want to crack that Flooded Strand or draw the card off top. Do they have a third land, though?
We're going to find out. Gotta love that trick with Mishra's Bauble, just being able to take a peek at your deck if you find something you like.
No third land.
And there must have not have been a land on top. That's probably why we fetched that one away. So you do got to say the good news for Baku 91 fans out there is you got 5 spells.
You do have 5 spells.
And most of them are free because you're playing Legacy. So we got that going on.
All right, Bobble going to go up to 6 cards. Also takes the turn. Fetching immediately.
But yeah, the one thing as far as the free spells go, Force of Will and Daze, definitely usually trimmed on, if not taken completely out of the deck. So it is definitely more of a liability to not be hitting your land drops. All right,
Hardcast Daze.
Baku leaving in Daze on the play and the draw.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Baku Daze last game on the draw. So just a believer that Daze is a playable Magic card in this matchup post board.
Okay. I do agree it's a playable Magic card.
See, if only Tulsuk had a Daze here, this would be lights out.
Yeah, Daze would be good right now.
No, I think that's an interesting debate amongst players, especially as someone like me that's just coming into this without knowing that this is like what people have always done kind of thing, because then I look at it with some fresh eyes, you know?
It has been a debate.
Forever?
Yes, forever. In any iteration of a Delver deck. Always been a debate.
Yeah, and I feel like all Legacy players can stand behind me when they're like, you know what, I'd rather debate about this constant Daze discourse rather than like, okay, does this new card have to be banned that gets put into Legacy? Does this new card have to get banned?
Whoa, gut shot.
We didn't hit a land from Baku 91, but I guess you get to get the free spell anyways.
Oh, yeah, just found a gut shot? Oh, wow.
Oh, got him. Here's Murky Merc coming in. No Daze for this one, though, bro. See if we got a Pyroblast when we untap. And Pyroblast to take this down does empty the graveyard as well, so prevents any future Murktides, at least for a little bit.
All right, Petty Theft on the turn, so it can't get Pyroblasted.
Yep.
Just put that on layaway. Say, you go build another sideboard, or you build another graveyard.
Yeah. You can't build another sideboard mid-tournament, though, bro.
Yeah, I know that one. All right, so Brainstorm, taking a look, trying to find that third land.
Yeah, both players a little land light, which means they are spell heavy. There's that Wasteland probably a couple turns later. Tulsuk wasting 0 time and just getting rid of one of those volcanics because, well, we don't have to have the hand viewer to realize that there's not another land in Baku's hand.
Yep.
And speaking of hand viewers, y'all, that technology was just not ready for us this weekend, but that is something in the right side of your screen in that orange area that we will normally have for our Mana Traders event, so we apologize for that, but expect that in the future events.
It should be working in future events. The team's going to be taking a look. It had a problem for this tournament, so that's why we have that space. But yeah, we will get that. We'll get that for next time, hopefully.
Dang gerbils. Just bit a hole in those cords that have the hand viewers.
Your understanding of technology really needs an update.
Hey, same with their gerbil protection. Coming in with that basic island there, that beautiful art. And we got Brainstorm coming in here for Baku. Baku being player number 1 here, as well as Tulsuk being player number 2. Deck list coming at you here shortly.
Yes, my apologies. I forgot to update Cardboard Live. It is being updated, so the correct deck list should be in there.
Yeah, it's I mean, you could have blamed it on the gerbils, bro, but yeah, you had to admit fault there.
I will take fault from my problems. Yes.
Delver's Secrets coming down here for Baku 91, gonna be met with an immediate lightning bolt. What do we got here? We know that Murktide's still in hand, bro, but only 3 lands, so not one short from casting that now. Not something you really want to just tap out to, especially against a player that said, that made it known that they left in daze. So now Tulsa will be kind of trying to play around that again because it's just been face-up information these last 2 days.
You're not going to get dazed again.
Yeah, I mean...
You already got dazed.
This is everybody who just got Dwari disruptioned online.
Yeah.
They're like, they can't have another one. And then you insert the meme, be like, okay, when they had all 4. Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm just going home. Yeah. All right, Baku's turn here. 6 cards and 7 cards in hand, bro.
It happens.
It does happen. There's a lot of spots where you want to just make sure you maximize the efficiency of your cards without, like, let's say, now you get put in a spot where you're like, okay, I don't want to overload on threats because, well, then I'm giving my opponent a reason to use their mana at end step. And if you don't play anything, maybe they don't play anything. And then they kind of waste that mana, and it's all about kind of being mana efficient. Here's a Chain Lightning, which does have the ability to be copied by Baku.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, from the ability there. Chooses not to. Maybe that was Tulsuk saying, yeah, I dare you to copy that, then I can resolve some big threat.
Or it's just that's the removal spell they had.
Yeah.
And that's the downside of Chain Lightning.
That is true. That is true.
All right, Lightning Bolt takes down the Dragon Rage Channeler. And also, the 3 damage wouldn't be worth losing the Scalding Tards, because like a later Brainstorm can be used for sculpting. And
that's a very good point. Update from our other match. We got Easy Money Marksman taking it down 2-0 against Ozymandias 17. So that's going to be our first person that is going to be getting that qualification into the December Invitational. Impressive work to them. Congratulations. All right, looks like we got a Ponder here from Tulsuk. Cool, and that our top 4 guaranteed all $1,000 if they have a Mana Trader subscription, $100 if they don't. So this is a big jump here. You want to be a Mana Trader subscription if you're playing this tournament.
Yes, you need to have one. Now, 6-6, Murktide coming down for Tulsulek, trying to take that all the way home to get to the finals. But, there's the Pyroblast.
Yeah, Pyroblast, yeah. Anytime we're, like, hyped, be like, oh, this bottom blue thread hits the bat, and that's Pyroblast.
Yeah, we got a lot. We should do an AMA. I mean, we got a lot of cards to work through before we get to any, like, truly exciting moment here.
Our real exciting moderation is it Pyroblast or is it Red Elemental Blast?
Yes.
Which one is it going to be?
Most likely Pyroblast.
Yes. Okay, coming in here, we still see that face-up Brazen Borrower, which can come down at any point.
Ooh, it might get deployed here.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? You got that extra mana, play around the days if it were to be in.
And bolted. Creature dead.
Okay, coming in, turn 11 here. These games do tend to go late as far as turns, 11 turns, 12, 15 turns may seem like a lot, but they go so fast these legacy matchups that it's, you still blink and you'll miss these events.
Yeah, is it time for another Murktide?
Is it?
It seems like it is.
I think this one you just max out on, right? You have enough cards in the graveyard. You got these gut shots you were throwing away. Why not just go big?
No, because I just feel like this is just going to get...
All right, maybe not max, but I feel like this is either 7-7 or 4-4. Like either play...
I think it's a 4-4. I'm going with 4-4. Yeah, I do.
They've been playing that way the whole time, so I think you might be right on that. I think I'd go 7-7 though. I just think you have enough to go 7-7 into 7-7. It looks like there's 16 cards in your graveyard.
That's true. We'll see what they go with. 5.
Dang it! We were both wrong. All right.
We'll see if this is the price is right. You bust.
I would have went over. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, that is my favorite game show by far. Brad knows that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see if there is. That does seem like there's going to be something played at end of turn.
Petty Theft. We'll see.
And we saw that island. That could be a Brainstorm.
Yep. not trying to play too fast here. You know, we are...
They've got tons of time.
Tons of time. Yeah, this is game 3, you know, so this was nothing like that other Is It match. That one must have been a slog fest. We came in, you know, at the end of game 2, and things have already happened in that game. That's for sure.
All right, Petty Theft. Going to be bouncing that Murktide Regent unless there's a Pyroblast.
And let's remind people we are playing a match for $1,000 right now. You know, you move into the finals, 3K up top, 2K to second, and this is 1K for top 4. So, you ever played a match for $1,000, bro?
Yes.
You played a few? Okay.
I played one on the Manager Series.
All right, all right. Yeah, you made the finals at one of these where I took 10th. I was a fish. All right, there's that Pyroblast for the 5/5. Good thing they didn't make it a 7/7, bro.
Yeah. All right, so Mystic Sanctuary getting back. Oh, maybe just another Pyroblast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
stock it up.
Yeah, make sure you got those answers. But that did bleed.
Did it at upkeep too? So made sure to do this with Pyroblast backup. I like it. Pyroblast does not protect against the #1 threat of this card, which is Pyroblast. Mm-hmm. I always think it's funny that the best answer to these Is It decks is Pyroblast, but then the Pyroblast don't answer the Pyroblast. You know, it's a fun little dance there.
Oh, that's what I said way back in the day when like certain decks like Goblins existed. Sometimes you'd play a Hydroblast and you'd bring them in the mirrors and you'd see like Hydroblast, Pyroblast.
Yes, love that. That was actually back when SCGs were one-day events. We went to this tournament. I mean, I was still a kid. We went together to Minneapolis, and it was their one legacy. Mm-hmm. And that I made the top 8 with just a Goblins deck and lost to a Goblins mirror. But fun stuff. That was my actual first taste in Legacy. I was like, you didn't have to know much to play that deck. Just put your hand on the table and turn them sideways. My kind of magic.
All right, so here we see a brainstorm, figuring out if there's going to find an answer. But that's 6 cards, right? And 2 can get shuffled away.
Yeah.
So we're talking hopefully 4 premiums for Baku to make a decision.
God, it's so crazy. We may have seen like, you know, one attack here and there. There was some gut shot damage to face. But for the most part, all the damage here has just been Scalding Tarns, Polluted Deltas and stuff. And it's turn 12. That's how many answers these Delver decks have. They just turn into control decks, both of them, because it's correct. Because the answers are still better than threats. Mm-hmm. You know, you've been harping on this as well. Is like, yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of threats you put in this slot. The answers are what makes the deck, and that proves why these games play out like they do. You know, it's all
Legacy
like
has a ton of powerful spells and lands, and they all abuse a bunch of decks. So we're going to see maybe a Murktide as a response to Murktide, but we know there's a Pyroblast, so is that the only option? Is that what Baku has?
Oh, a daze to end all dazes? Is it coming from Baku?
You can untap. There's no way you're playing into daze after getting daze. You will untap. You don't need.
No, I'm saying Baku could daze. Oh yeah, because you just Pyroblast. Yeah. But what if you really want to counter it instead of destroy it? It is another 5/5 here.
Just make it a 5. I love it. There's so much restraint.
And here's some good restraint by Tolzuk as well to untap. Very good move when you've already seen the dazes. Do not put yourself in harm's way. And now we're probably going to see this as the first thing. A nice play.
Yeah, just forcing the Pyroblast because that's the play that Baku had.
Boom. First blood. Turn 12.
Yeah. All right, Wasteland.
Okay, true name Nemesis. This is how the last game was decided.
There's like no coming back from this. It's so brutal.
Oh my God. Yeah, Dan, let's maximize this card for anybody at home watching and see a little bit about true name Nemesis. This card is just so hard to deal with. Protection from a player. That just means anything they play. And protection from other creatures. You can't do any blocking. Like, what do you do to this card if you're behind?
You lose.
You just lose, right?
Say, I had a good tournament, and I'm okay. But yeah, to also like just use a true name Nemesis to probably push themselves into the finals, qualify for the December Invitational, and have another chance in the finals to win another $1,000.
Yeah, does $1,000, bro, buy you a nice frame for true name Nemesis after you win this event? You know, I think that's the first thing I would buy. Because that is a nice one. Bang. True name. And now we're waiting to the end of Tolzuk's turn. And Baku 91 probably just scratching their head like, what on earth am I going to do?
I mean, I I can't think of anything.
I can't either.
Like
and the festivities doesn't do it either, right?
Look,
because it's damage. You know, it's protection prevents against damage. I mean, it's petty theft doesn't do it. It's only like a -1 effect.
It's killing them before it kills you.
What about like a Chainer Edict style effect? That would deal with it as well. But yeah, nothing in the color pie is it that can deal with this card. And it's not on a lot of people's radar. You know, this isn't a card that sees play anymore, even though it used to be a legacy staple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, it's just everything else is just a little too
I bet this one is maxed out, bro.
Yes, I feel like it's time to
Okay, but
withdraw.
Here is a sequence that can possibly get you there. You go Murktide again from Baku. Never mind. It's a red elemental blast. I was gonna say you play another one, you exile a bunch of cards, get this to a gigantic creature, get this to a 13, maybe kill the region or something, but boom, that's it. That's it. Tosaluk takes it down. Impressive stuff.
Let's get to them to make sure they don't start early. Yeah. Can you?
All right, we're going to come back to us in the booth here. We got Brad just making sure our players do not start real quick. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this Mana Trader series. First of all, congratulations to our 2 finalists. They will be heading to that December Invitational here at the end of the year. We're going to be playing for a ton of money. They also just both locked up 2,000 doll hairs. As long as they are Mana Trader subscribers, which I have a feeling they will be, to rent these legacy decks. And if you want to be a Mana Trader subscriber and be competing in this event next month, ! Bash Bros in the chat. That'll save you the most amount of money that you can possibly save for your rental service. And you might be here getting your match commentated by me and Brad here for next month.
And me just leaning over by the mic, not paying attention to you.
Let's get real. You're showing off this awesome man bun here. We all like it. So that's going to bring us to the end of our top 4. We're going to take a short 5-minute break while we set up the finals. Then we're going to bring you that finals. And right after this break, we're going to be announcing what format we are going to be playing for the March Mana Trader series. And it's a good one.
It's maybe the best one.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mana Trader series. Corey, Brad, bringing you the finals here between 2 Izzet Delver Masters. They've already started, so we're going to jump right in, but we wanted to bring up one thing real quick. The March Mana Trader series will be the best format. You were right, it's modern.
It's modern. But both players already started on us, so let's get into the action as soon as possible. Because we tried to hold them, but they just couldn't wait.
You know what? You got to love them. They were too excited to get it done. One of them is looking for easy money, I guess.
Very much
Looking
so.
at, we're going to get those deck lists updated for you. We just saw Tosaluk deck list here, so we already got that in. Easy Money's list, a little bit different. Should be live on your Cardboard Live now if you want to check it out, y'all. And action's underway. We got DRC plus Delver, as well as a Bobble. Up against an opponent that has 7 Magic cards, bro.
7 Magic cards, 1 in play. I mean, that's kind of what happens, right? There's a lot on the board for one player, so the other player must have some in hand. All right, they're just this is an important turn to figure things out, right? Like, so Wasteland, playing the Lightning Bolt, playing around Days on the the DRC, and
they
then
take those out, bro.
They do take them out, but this is game 1. No and.
No, they take
and. No and. All right, for anyone that doesn't know that, I'm trying to teach Corey to do yes and.
Lightning Bolt coming in to take this out. Bobbling first to get a little bit more information to basically see if you want to fight over this. Wasteland to take out a Volcanic. And once again, thank you so much for being here, everybody. We appreciate all the viewers here. Nice group of 300 of y'all. We really appreciate it. And we are excited to bring you more coverage like this in the future.
Yeah, I know you could be doing anything else with your Sunday, and you're choosing to hang out with us, so we truly appreciate it. We'll be back next month with the Mana Trader series. It'll be modern.
It's my favorite format, bro. If we're going to see, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going for Grixis Death Shadow to win that event. I don't care who's playing it. I might have to play it. You know, I might have to try to play it and take this one off just to try to compete, because these tournaments are so awesome. You get to play for so much money. You get to practice during these qualifier, the qualifier weeks leading up to it. You know, and you just get to play such great games. There's a good community in the Discord. It's run by some great people on the back end. I just really love this series.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And now that I have the power of influencing the feature matches, all of you Jund fans out there, we will be showing every round will be Jund. It'll all be Jund.
Yeah, a lot of Jund Saga players are like,
ooh,
I'm
look
interested.
at this. This is some action.
Wow, yeah.
Just all the Dazes and the Wastelands. Now this is a Delver.
That is a battlefield right there.
This is the Delver battlefield that I remember.
1 Insectile Aberration and no lands. That is impressive.
Yeah, and if you look at it, though, both players have the same amount of stock. 4 in hand versus 2 in hand and 2 on board. All right, Volcanic Island comes down. Maybe doesn't have removal. I mean, this is the spot where, you know, you're just going to have to take it and hope you find an answer to it. I mean, this is where Murktide Regions and Expressive Iterations are too expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Too expensive.
2 mana? Are you kidding me? You know, honestly,
in this economy,
that's how I know that the deck that I play in Modern is so busted, because you have very few 2-drops in that deck. That's too expensive. Otherwise, it is just, you know, to quote Brian Koval, who was in my Patreon and picked up the deck that I was playing. He's like, yeah, this deck was sweet, and I can't believe it. They let me play Legacy in Modern. And I'm like, yep, you're right. Wow, this is insane.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt on the Apparition, Force of Will, Pyroblast.
Pyroblast.
A huge fluster of counterspells to keep this 3-2 attacking.
Wow.
Easy money is like, this is easy money. I am just going to get this done. Mystic Sanctuary coming into play tapped. Truly impressive Magic card right now.
And you got to think both players' hands are just lands at this point with all the
Easy Money had no cards in hand.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, there's a Wasteland, and that was probably an insane draw, to be honest.
It's huge.
Oh,
yeah, that's
my
it.
God.
There was no like Murktide hoping to draw a land. It was just, that's over. That's game.
Yeah.
Going to Easy Money.
Yeah, that's sweet. So we've taken a look at Tulsalec's deck a lot. Let's pull up Easy Money's list and see what kind of action they have for this Delver Mirror. Just kidding, the match is up.
They've already sideboarded?
Yeah, I think they are just...
are they turboing this?
Yeah, I think they're just both like, we got to the finals, you know, we both made a couple thousand.
No, you know what? I know both of them understand that I'm super hungry.
Oh, okay.
And that
God, they're so nice to us.
They're so nice. They're just like, we're going to get this done for you. You can go out and get some food.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Steam Vents Shock. That's something I do not see in Legacy often. Just
not
turn
often.
1 Shock Ponder.
Not too great with days as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing they board them out.
Yep, that's fair. 100% of the time.
That's why they board them out. All right, so Volcanic Island comes down. Ponder both sides.
Yeah, and that is
going with the Volcanic Island Lorwyn Ponder over the Steam Vents.
Yeah.
Course up Ponder.
And I am getting word from our lovely director. It's almost midnight in Italy, where Tulsaluk is playing from. So
it might be both.
Yeah, they might be trying to go to bed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And they did get that carrot on the stick that I know you always talk about, bro. Always nice to play a tournament, and if it offers an invite to another tournament, that's the carrot. And once you got it, it's just your shoulder slump. You know, you get to just kind of relieve yourself a little bit.
And one of the things about like the marketing of things in general, not even just Magic, is you want to create a carrot on the stick.
Yeah.
And I fully accepted that. I'm like, I know what you're doing, but I love it and I want to be a part of it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Going to see Ponder here from Tulsalek. And trying to maybe hit Delirium in some way. Still a ways away from that. You got Sorcery, you got Land. Trying to get in there for 1.
All right, Delver's Secrets comes down. Now let's see what Easy Money is capable of doing for turn 2. Or not for turn 2. for the turn that they put their second land into play.
There is Steam Vents Take 2. You said you didn't see it often. We just saw it twice back to back here. No big deal.
All right. Just shocking, saying go.
That's the first mistake we've ever made. We're getting Baku's deck list out of there. We're getting Tosaluk into the battlefield, or onto your extension. There, we got that updated.
Apologies.
And then we got Unholy Heat. That's going to be met with a Flusterstorm. I wouldn't recommend paying for the first one since you can't pay for the second one, bro.
That is a smart. That's what you come here for. This is some top-notch coverage.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, so 4 damage coming in. Can't get to that full delirium for that DRC, but it'll be coming here soon.
Yep, absolutely. Brainstorm coming down. Seeing what we're going to find to deal with this. And if we're going to get it evened up here, this is definitely advantage Tosaluk. And yeah, Director Dan there, we do got Baku on the right of that screen. If we could change that to Tosaluk, that would be great. We just all expected Baku to win after how crazy that match was.
I guess so.
There we go. And gotta love that, bro. How often does that happen? Finals between 7th and 8th seed.
Not often.
To be fair, Mana Traders, it is just, normal Magic Online rules. You get the die roll if you get the die roll. Sometimes frustrating when you're going in on the top seed, but that wasn't your experience the last couple times when you were playing an Izzet deck in one of these top 8s, huh?
Yeah, I was 8th seed and won all my die rolls, made the finals, loved it. All right, so the DRC's trade, Lightning Bolt takes care of the Delver, and we are in the, let's see if there's Murktides or card advantage. Dunlap, you missed all of the excitement.
So we won't be telling you.
We will be telling you.
Oh, okay.
Next month is Modern.
And I got a new deck there. So, we got Expressive Iteration being resolved here from Easy Money, bro. Dude, I am not the biggest hammer lover as far as the deck, but that blue-white hammer with Reality Chip, whoo.
Is that good?
Oh, it's cool. It's really good. Just another card you get to search up. It just made the top 8 of this Modern Challenge. This person made back-to-back top 8s. It was Biwi is their name.
With
no,
or just blue-white?
It's just blue-white. It has like Spell Pierce for interaction, and then it plays Reality Chip instead of like Thoughtseize. Really cool deck. I'm super interested in trying that out, maybe for the next Mana Trader series.
That does sound exciting.
Yeah, it's sweet. Reality Chip with a bunch of 0 drops. Who would have guessed? Pretty good.
Sounds like a job for Jund to destroy everything.
Whoa. You leave him alone with those, EEs and stuff like that. Mystic Sanctuary being fetched. I'm going to guess Expressive Iteration goes on top. Just kidding. That's Lightning Bolt.
Another Expressive Iteration.
Because he already had them. Still had all these.
Yeah. All right. This might find one of the first Pyroblast to counter the Expressive Iteration. There it is.
Okay. What are we going to surveil? And Tosaluk already down to 2 cards. So if Easy Money can, just play a couple threats, we know we have Lightning Bolt on top to deal with this DRC. And outside of that, if you can stabilize, you got to like the chances of Easy Money Marksman to be able to come back into this. But Legacy is so swinging that honestly, it could just go back and forth 5 different times.
All right, down to 6. Chained Lightning is going to be taking down that.
That went to the face.
That went to the. Oh, it's just double bolt.
Oh, Tosaluk with double bolt. Is the Daze or the Force still in the deck? No, we know Lightning Bolt's on top. No.
We're going to a game 3.
Wow. The game to decide it all. 3,000 versus 2,000 for first and second. So just one game for a grand, bro. Not bad. It's a good way to spend your Sunday.
It is. I love playing for money on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
And you, too, can, by next month, we are going to be doing the Mana Traders in Modern.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get involved in that and have not previously jumped into the Mana Trader series, and if you have a Mana Traders account, which you should have if you're a part of this tournament series, you don't need it, but it is. The bonus money is where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have that Mana Traders thing. I mean, if you win the tournament and you go from where you would have won, $3,000 and instead you win $300, you'd kick yourself. So just get a Mana Trader subscription. That's the way to do it.
And you can use code BASHBROS to get 20% off your first 2 months to try it out.
Yeah. And as Efro is saying in chat, what's up, Eric Froelich? It's so many thousands.
So many thousands.
It's this many. I know you can't see, but I have 3 fingers up right now. That's a lot.
All right, yeah. We see a Insectile Aberration flip through that bauble to try to get 2 peaks.
Look at that good move. I love that bauble trick.
It is great. And I also love the trick of flipping your turn 1 Delver of Secrets and then wasting their only land.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite trick.
I mean, my favorite trick, I got to play for one tournament, the Ragavan version, and Volcanic Island Ragavan days on the play, doesn't matter what the rest of your hand is.
It's very good.
You just keep 4 ham sandwiches after that, you know?
Oh, only having Wasteland. Are we going to see, and there was no flip, and we're going to see a Lightning Bolt? All right, so we're back to the Insectile Apparition as the only thing on the board. Does Easy Money have another land drop? That is going to be very important to see. Does. All right.
Wow. Consider both players must have had too much to drink because they're both wasted right now.
Why? All right. Oh, no land for Tulsa.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Wasteland was it. It wasn't going for the I'm going to treasure screw my opponent. That was the only option they had. And now they have no lands. Insectile Operation comes in for another 3 down to 11.
Tulsa Luck might be getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Now this is a Delver Mirror.
This is a Delver Mirror.
Shock!
Steve Vance take 2. And that's important when you're when you go down to 9. Going from 11 to 9 here when you got an Insectile Aberration and you basically count by 3.
Yeah.
You know, with basically everything.
Upkeep Pyroblast, are we going to see a Flusterstorm protecting this Insectile Aberration?
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. And, you know, we probably don't have too many forces left. That's what Tulsa Luck really needs here to stop this, but
oh, we're seeing a pick up the land day.
Oh, and maybe a bolt in the upkeep as well with that red mana. No, probably had the Pyroblast.
It was protecting with Pyroblast to stop it.
Oh god, you got to think Easy Money is going to be taking this down.
I mean, just 2 attacks away, and he bolts reduces that by a turn.
Yeah, these are the games where you do not expect our bottom player here to be taking this down.
Oh,
it resolved.
Yeah, it resolved.
God, yeah, you'd think if you had a Pyroblast or something there, you would fire it off on that.
Oh, I would.
I mean, but you did bring it up that you know, they could be playing Brainstorm first and then have the land to go for it anyways, you know.
But not after they missed a land drop. Like, if my opponent missed a land drop and then Brainstorm 2 turns later, I'm going to try to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they probably have Brainstorm Ponders in their hand, so they could have drawn another land, and then that was fate. But now they better hope. Oh, no, not an island.
Island into Delver of Secrets. All right, so that means that this Insectile Aberration is going to get 3 damage in, opening up any Lightning Bolt for lethal.
Yeah, or just not dealing with this Insectile Aberration. A lot of things can go wrong.
All right, for those of you joining, this is the final game and maybe final turn of this month's Mana Trader series. Lightning Bolt, there it is. Easy Money Marksman is going to take this down 2-1.
Congrats and great play. You know what? You blink and you miss that finals, bro.
It was way faster than I thought it was going to be.
And we're going to come back to us in the booth. We're going to do a little bit of chatting here. But yeah, bro, I think that was just the pinnacle of what an Izzet Delver matchup used to look like.
I mean, we saw all of the variations of how Izzet plays out throughout this top 8. We saw the slower Murktide games. We saw the quicker Wasteland Delver of Secret games. It's just a lot. It just can go in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
I love it. I love just these potentially low econ games, these velocity card advantage driven games.
Yes. No,
it's a good mirror.
It's a great mirror match. You know, I mean, I think maybe us, like all of you watching, when you get to 4 Izzet decks, like your initial reaction is just like, but then you think about it and you're like, you know, that's not bad because they really do have a lot of depth to them. All these players that have made it to the top 4 are skilled with the deck. You know, we kind of talked about the skill disparity in these matchups that can make it look a little bit more lopsided. But when you make the top 4 into the finals of these Mana Trader series, you've cast some Izzet Delvers.
I do like how so all weekend long, bro, you have been bringing up the skill disparity in Izzet Delver mirrors.
Yes.
And you've also brought up your inexperience in the format.
Yes.
So are you just trying to say that you've gotten destroyed in the mirror many times? Is that what I'm hearing?
It didn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out this one, but yeah, that's exactly it. Because I played against some Delver mirror matches, and I'm inexperienced in it, and it it looks like a different game. You know, it's a very tough thing to play.
And you don't see your small little mistakes because some of them come out like 4, 5, 6 turns down the road.
Exactly. It's like I would have a couple people watching my match, and then afterwards, you know, like Harlan or Zach Allen or something would just come up to me and be like, "Hey, dude, should not have done that." And I'm like, "What? Why not?" And I'll be like, "You're like, yeah, you left in all your forces." I'm like, "Heck yeah, I left in all my forces. What do you want from me?" So, all right, everyone, huge congratulations to Easy Money Marksman. They are the winner of this Legacy February Open. They will be joining Kane Reinhardt, Moggs, in that end of the year, December. Yeah, and Tulsaluk as well, in that end of year December Invitational has been coined by Brad. So
I think it's a good name.
Yeah, no, this was a great event. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. We really appreciate your patience while we get this Mana Trader series to the level that we really want it to be at. You know, we're constantly striving, constantly learning to make this the best product we can.
Yes, we are growing it. We'll be back next month at the end for the March Modern.
Yep, we don't have an exact date for you yet. We're going to talk that out with the Mana Traders people. That will be made public here pretty soon as far as when you can start qualifying in these leagues and stuff like that. So, yeah. Bro, you got anything else?
I don't. I just have to say thank you so much for hanging out in chat all weekend. Going through our, again, we had another technical difficulty, but we can't control them. They're kind of just like the X of the service providers of internet and electricity.
Yeah, this one was just, it was a very, very windy day here in Roanoke, Virginia. It took the power out of our director's place that they live, you know, for a little bit. What can you do about that? So,
well, we can buy something that can also fix that for next time.
Yeah,
and we will.
Yeah. We can reinforce their house. Yes, let's do that. We're committed.
We'll do it for you, Dan. We'll reinforce your house. I don't know what that means.
We don't know.
But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today and yesterday. We'll be back next month with Modern.
And sorry, one last thing. Make sure if you do want to be doing some prep for Modern, that ! Bash Bros code there, that will be working today as far as the rest of the month as well, and, you know, forever, hopefully.
Yeah.
That code will be working, and it'll give you 20% off your Mana Trader subscription for your first 2 months. So if you want to start practicing Modern, play Grixis Death Shadow. It's the best deck. Or if you want to try some other decks like Jund, you know, those are going to be the decks that, believe it or not, you're going to get some feature matches.
But if you get a Mana Trader's account, you can only play Thoughtseize decks.
yeah, absolutely.
Damn the rules.
So there's a lot of exciting Modern events coming up as well that we'll be able to look at as far as results. You know, a ton of different tournaments, so a lot of ideas that'll be coming there to play with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. But that's going to do it, everyone. So thank you so much for watching. From Director Dan, that's Brad Nelson. I'm Corey Baumeister. We'll see you next month.